long time back, perhaps in 1978 or 1979, I had asked this question to my master. Our question answers were very brief. I asked him how to progress faster. So he told me with one statement, constant remembrance. And I asked him, how to? Then he said, connect yourself each time you change your activity. I spent a lot of time over this fundamental concept in heartfulness, that what is the byproduct of meditation. We practice meditation and something comes out of this practice. What is that byproduct? Of course, we talk of consciousness, that okay, the consciousness that I had before meditation and consciousness that arrives in my heart at the end of meditation. And each day it keeps changing. Now, if I'm able to remain in touch with this new level of consciousness after each meditation, then I'm not, it's like, you're going one ladder up, coming back, one ladder up, coming back. So consciousness is so subtle and so refined. We need to pay extra attention so that we don't lose it. Because after each meditation, whatever the state is, and however careful we are, after 3-4 hours, we seem to lose that state. So, constantly reminding ourselves, of course, 2-3 weeks, it's a challenge for us. How to play around in the daily world, at the same time remaining in touch with your inner consciousness. It remains challenging for a few weeks. But if I give you the example of a child learning a bicycle, a 3-year-old child or 4-year-old child, when we teach cycling, we get first 2-wheelers with 2 supporting wheels in the back. And then we help child how to ride a bicycle. Then a time comes, child will say, Mommy or Papa, leave me alone, I will do it myself. So we let them do it. And then a time comes when we remove this practicing wheels also. And then time comes, child starts to going to school on a bicycle with friends. And also time comes when you are going on a bicycle, children often leave the handles and keep on riding, singing songs and all that. Now, in the beginning, it was so difficult. The main job was paddling in the beginning. But then a time comes, he is paddling, at the same time he is singing, but he is unaware of the paddling. Same thing happens when you are learning the car for the first time. And time comes, after so many efforts, that very act of driving a car becomes effortless. So, in both scenarios, tremendous efforts are involved until it becomes effortless. Constant remembrance also, like we try hard in the beginning that, okay, I have finished my meditation. This is my state of consciousness. And in order to make it very palpable and make it very understandable, I make a note of it in my journal that this is how I feel at this moment. Okay. And then, having written all that, I try to hold on to that state. And then either take breakfast or do whatever I have to do next. If I have to go to work, I drive, and just before driving out, I would connect myself to that inner state and say, okay, I'll hold on to this state as much as I can. I reach to my workplace, sitting on the table. Again, I make a suggestion. And if possible, I try to meditate at least for 2 minutes also before I begin my work. Just 1 or 2 minutes to intensify that inner state, to make myself more centered, and then work again. So even if I have to converse, telephone comes in the middle of this meditation, it's fine. I answer the phone and put it back. And each time I get distracted, again I remind myself. So it's a constant process of reminding that I am connected within myself. Now, why constant remembrance, you see? Like when you love someone, that person is always on your mind. Even for a second, you cannot forget your loved one. So Babaji says, this divine, godly entity we don't even know. How to love that godly or divine entity whom we don't know as yet. Though theoretically we say, I am divine and that is also divine, Advaita. But I have to consciously feel the divinity that is all-pervading and divinity that is individual, or the individual consciousness must resonate with the universal consciousness. So that state must come. It must not just remain a theoretical. So the efforts are involved. And we try to attract that quality within by intensifying it more and more, more and more. And as we move from one chakra to another chakra, we keep experiencing various states of consciousness. And ultimately, we arrive at a state where there is absolutely nothing, absolutely nothing. That does not mean that there are no qualities there. Something or the other is always there, but it cannot describe. It's so beyond words, you see. Vedas, as you say, and since you are Advaita philosopher, they all talk about, positive things in the beginning. But in the end, what do they say? Neti, neti, neti. Not this, not this, not this. Because having experienced the ultimate so well, and someone asks you, how is that ultimate? Then we have to only say, not this, not this, not this. Because there is nothing in this world that is comparable with the ultimate. That's why such a proclamation, not this, not this, not this, neti, neti, neti. But as far as experience is concerned, you will surely experience that. Babaji, in his wisdom, says, since we do not have the inkling or even little bit of conception of God, so we begin by theoretically or hypothetically imagining and loving that entity. And once we begin this process of thinking, rather, it automatically results into loving at some point later in life. So meditation is the beginning, constant remembrance is somewhere in between, love is the next phase. And love is also not the ultimate thing. There is still something more remaining, like when I love someone and she also loves me very dearly. What happens next is the marriage. Then you have new creation. Creation, because when two come together, there is third being created. There is a merger to meet, to become one. Similarly, when my consciousness, individual, once it becomes universal, that is also merger. And this merger is not possible as long as I have something or the other. That means the purity that I have must resonate with the divine purity. Otherwise, it cannot merge. drop cannot become the ocean if the quality of this drop is not like that of the ocean. Can I drop oil in water and expect it to merge? We can't. So, divine, in order for me to merge in divine, I must become divine. As of now, most of us are not divine, though we have those divine potential. It has to be actualized and realized. Then yes, then merger is possible.